Have to work and slave, let electricity do it for you. You don't have to work and slave, let electricity do it for you.
Well, it seems like here we are again. Back to square one. What do you think of that? I have no idea what you're talking about. Well, you need to know what I'm talking about, because what I'm talking about, you have to know what I'm talking about. It's relevant. I mean, seriously, it's all relevant. What do you think? I mean, Batman and Robin, why you hiding in the corner hobnobbing? You must be slobbing. Dirty Sanchez, I know somebody named Muez who don't like me. Guess what? Who cares? About to drop like Shinnin', so be prepared. Don't act scared, eyes wider than Ric Flair. You smell like you fake, go stand over there. Where's my Dominican pound cake with the Haitian sprinkles? Some men sit down when they piss, they go tinkle. Supposed to be grown, but it sound like Rocky Bullwinkle. Mortal Kombat, whoopsie. I bought a bag of shit coins to chart with whoopsie. Where's my wife? I need her to come soothe me, cause I bought a bag of promises and fallacies. I don't appreciate the disingenuous nature of your statement and your stance. Shut up. This is I'm from the Bronx, but I'm not Derek Jeter. You sold the coins, red candles, you a Jeter. I know some kids doing time for holding heaters. They put the grip by the waist next to the skeeter. A true seeker who likes to teach, relax, and kick my feet up, show the kids a better way. Other than being G'd up, find a better way. That's what it is, always. Peace.
Blessings, y'all. What's up? It's good. What y'all doing? What y'all doing? I see Craig in the building. What's up to Craig first? Got DG in the building. Second. Yeah. Sagamore in the building. What's up, y'all? What's up, y'all? Craig, I gotta give you a wrench. I gotta give you a wrench when I get a chance, man. DOC in the building. DOC in the building. First Master Glizzy. First Master Glizzy on the check-in. You know. Mix was good. What's going on? Mix. Peace and blessings to y'all. Yo. Oh my goodness, bruh. Are you serious? I hope the service is not disrupting, like, the weekend. The service sometimes is trash on the weekends, bruh. You already know. Safe travels, man. Safety. Like the young kids say, safety, y'all. Safety. And this is really going to be about safety, what I'm talking about right now, man, because this is, the topic is, it's real talk. We're going to talk about this illicit substance that's been unaliving people, right? In my I wear different hats. I like to frame it that way. So one of the hats I wear, when I'm working with people, I work with the mentally ill population, the adult population. So you can imagine, mental illness doesn't discriminate. So anyone could suffer, right? from mental health issues. So that's one thing. When that gets compounded with vices, addiction, oh man, that's an entirely different level. Like the battle, you already you already have to like think about putting. See, I like to sometimes try to at least to understand someone else. I learned a long time ago, you got to try to put yourself in someone else's shoes, quote unquote, so that you can see their perspective a little better. Imagine yourself in their position so that you can understand their viewpoint. When you're mentally ill, and depending on the level and degree, you're alone in the world. You're alone. Imagine those of us who are fortunate enough to have our capabilities, who have our faculties, we're able to take care of ourselves and loved ones on top of that. Provide, protect, support, all those things. Imagine you be able to do this. Imagine all that just changes in a split second and you can never recover. Like all things are fine. And then all of a sudden something happens, a crisis, you suffer something traumatic, and then boom, your life changes in a split second. Mentally, you're not the same person anymore. I'm just giving an example, like, some type of affliction hits you, some type of drug problem, you got a bad batch, and you're no longer the same anymore. In some cases, mental health is something that you'll find. Some studies show that it can be passed down, right? Hereditary. But we're not talking about that per se. I'm talking about being a person where you have all your stuff together and your affairs, quote unquote, together. And then all of a sudden, and just imagine as a person, you didn't even experiment with anything, nothing, nothing, nothing. But to understand where a person who's suffering, let's say, schizophrenia, I'm going to give you an example of what to even imagine what that would be. Imagine listening to 10 radio stations at the same time telling you what to do. And 10 is being modest. Like 10 different sounds, 10 different voices, all speaking at the same time, loud. And you have to coexist in life with everyone else and act like you got your affairs together. Just most of us would just instantly go crazy. And a lot of them, they deal with this and even more. They actively hear more than 10 voices in some cases, man, telling them to do all kinds of shit. Then they have to plug into some type of care, meet with some type of clinician to help them manage. In some cases, they can't manage, they have to be institutionalized. Those who can manage, they live in the community, they got to see, they have to be connected to care. If they can't do it by themselves, they meet a psychologist, a psychiatrist, they give them medication to cope so that they can retain it, their freedom if they can handle just living a simple life. Some of them can never live a simple life ever again. Like they have to be supervised forever, whether it's in a supervised setting, whether it's in a locked mental hospital. Some of them can commit crimes at the same time. They have cold morbidity, right? They probably have chronic illness. They suffer with addiction. All this is these things get complicated when you have some nasty crap like fentanyl that come into the play. When my when I got exposed to the social ills of where I'm from, the social ills of where I grew up, drugs was always in the picture. Drugs was always in the picture. Alcohol is a drug. People try to, I remember hearing adults argue with each other, talk about, nah, you, you playing with H, you playing with that brown, you playing with that tan, and you playing with that candy white, you playing with that white girl, right? You a dope head, you a cokehead. Me, I'm good. All I do is drink. As if drinking doesn't destroy lives too. As if drinking doesn't tear you up from the inside out. Born into born into these environments where it's everywhere. It's just everywhere. And then the beginnings of entertainment and hip hop music, I'm listening to tunes like White Lines. The effing song is called White Lines. And then, of course, Melly Mel and the Furious Five. Don't push me because I'm close to the edge. I'm trying not to lose my head. It's like a jungle sometimes. It makes me wonder how I keep from going under. Because it was really like that environment. That environment was riddled with everything destructive that we could think of, especially drugs, breaking us down to the almost primal form from the inside out. And it hasn't gone anywhere. It's only gotten worse. Become big bucks, corporate business at the demise of a population of people. Tests. It's almost like, lab rats, whatever you want to call them. Here, we throwing this out. We're gonna feed you forever. You're gonna make us rich. It's part of a system. It's part of a system. You got to keep this vicious cycle going. Imagine, I remember growing up watching dope heads, the ones that used to shoot up heroin, the ones that used to sniff heroin, the ones that used to take the needle and shoot that shit up in their fucking veins. It is what it is, folks. You should see them nod out. I remember talking about this before. One guy I saw him, this dude was a Rastafarian. Dreadlocks. I'm a child watching this guy do the lean, like before lean was lean, that these kids in hip hop talk about some lean. These people were nodding off on their feet, dipping low, and would never land on the ground. And I'm watching both hands dangling, head dangling, hair dangling. The hair, long as F. I'm looking for the hair to touch the ground. The thing never touched the ground. It touched maybe it might have reached 1 inch from the concrete and just stuck there, low like that. Him and his peers. Drug dens, drug alleys, drug communities, drug. Big business. Profiteering is big business. Big business. But it's crazy when a lot of people don't really understand the ramification and how deep these things go until it affects them directly, until it hits home. And what I do in my job, I'm almost desensitized. I'm not almost. I'm desensitized because this thing that I'm talking about, it's not something that just happened. This thing with fentanyl, this is old news. It's old. This is old. Like this is the fentanyl's been around for long time, long time. Known people who've overdosed over it. Oh, long time, long time. But I've been so desensitized because even the clients and my job have fallen victim to this. They wanna get a little taste of whatever they work with, whether it's the white, whether it's the brown, whether it's whatever, and this thing is mixed or cut. Whatever they're trying to get gets cut or added, mixed in with some fentanyl, illicit substance like that. That is 10 to 30 to 50 times more stronger than whatever regular quote unquote opiate that we know about. And what do you think the chances of them surviving that is? Very, very slim. And even through being desensitized, when it hits home, oh, it hits so different. It hits so different. It hits so different. But people don't know until it's close to them. They don't even really care. Just this week over here in the States, I mean, it's all over New York. It's all over New York. It's all over New York, bro. In any urban metropolis where you have a population of people, of drug addicts, huh? Where you have this type of economy, this that you want to talk about ecosystem. You want to talk about ecosystem. That's an ecosystem where corporations and businesses and hospitals and jails, right? They thrive. They thrive off of the drug trade. Come on, man. It's all over the United States. You got young people hooked on this shit, man. Let me tell y'all something. I'm not gonna disclose where I was, but I was somewhere. Yo, you'll never like. I can't say enough of what I've been through. No one can, because it's the incident, and there's not enough time in the world to describe the stuff I've seen and been through. There's not enough time in the world, yo. But let me tell you something. This thing, and even it's not even just fentanyl. It's just fentanyl right now because it's a potent, direct, direct. It's almost like a welcoming a missile straight to your life, right into your life to eviscerate everything, everything within and outside of you. There are so many young people that their lives and dreams have been shattered. They are 20 years old. They look like they are 50 from fucking with this with drugs. Yeah. You see, these are things that people are right. Not in my backyard, not my problem. You want to talk about generational curses? You want to talk about afflictions that gets passed down. And you know what's crazy? What hurts, like when I think about it, it hurts me to understand, because I've seen it all through my life. When the drugs ravage an individual who's some of the most intelligent minds you've ever encountered, and they have to battle addiction on some level, even if they appear to be functional. You have some people, right? They get high, and you would never know, because drug addicts know how to hide things very well, and their minds are sharp as f. So imagine if they just remain sober, how powerful they would be. But they battle, they struggle, they fight every single minute of their waking existence against this demon, and a lot of them succumb. Do you think everybody who's right who abuses these things are just idiots? Some people just don't even, oh, they just dumb, lazy, good for nothing. You think it's that easy? You think it's that easy? But some people speak out of ignorance, right? Quick to judge. Based on, they think whatever life is the sum total of what's in their brain, are unwilling to put themselves or see someone else's perspective. You don't even have to necessarily imagine you being in their shoes, but just imagine it, or even think about it for 1 second. Like, what are they going through to want to get a bad bag of dope that they don't even know is bad? So they gambling with their life every time they go get some work, to shoot up in their veins, to snort in their nose, right? To ingest, taking them out, whatever, however they're doing with that, whatever they're doing, they're taking a risk. It's really like playing Russian roulette, gambling with their lives. Because that one hit could be their last hit. And people don't care. Sometimes you could look at a person, you look at their face, and you could tell they're struggling. You could tell. Those of us that know, we understand, and we see it is what it is sometimes. What's understood don't need to be said. I'm telling you like this. Just this week alone, not too far from where I'm at in Baltimore, the first person that I saw on the internet that was reporting this is a person who creates content, Gully TV, reported, and then I had to verify and do the research, and of course, fact find and check behind it, and I discovered, there was a mass death that took place in Baltimore about two days ago, I want to say, where people got a bad batch of whatever narcotics that was being sought after, huh? And the concentration of fentanyl was so potent. It was at least, like, in one section, in one report, they said maybe 25 to 50 deaths in one locale, in one specific location in Baltimore, Maryland. That once the product hit the street, it's not even that the people, the addicts, were buying it. They were served, given samples. Here, test this bitch out. Here are these samples. You thinking, oh, it's free. Oh, it's free work. Here you go. Test this out. Let me know. Back in the days in Harlem, New York, this was in the heyday of the opiate, the heroin days, right? There was oh my goodness, bro. Why am I even talking about this, bro? But it's certain thing that's relevant. You want to talk about testers? There was a gentleman, a person who was named who was known to test the goods before the suppliers and the pushers would sell it. People would test. One famous person in the man, oh man, dude's name was Claw. Why was his name Claw? Because his appendage, his arm, right? They say became so inflated, so deformed. He kept his whole arm covered, including his hands, because he was using that hand, they say, to consistently test dope so much that his arm became deformed. You could only imagine. Our imagination runs wild. The thing you can't even. I mean, it's just like I'm not even going to get into that. But the point is, these things were given to the to. It's a bad batch that's out right now that folks are just throwing in the street for people to test and try out to see how good it is so that they can. And then that's the thing, when people buying these things, they want their money back. They don't care who dies. Don't care who dies. And then when all these things reach our kids, you don't think it's around our children? Children known about this at least 10, 15 years under our nose, under some of us that we think we got it all figured out. No. When you come my way, they have the name of the drug in their rap moniker. In their rap moniker. Name any community you're a part of and tell me drug abuse don't exist or someone is not afflicted, and then you telling me, name anything that you know what I mean? People suffer from all types of trials and tribulations. I don't care what walk of life you're a part of, because these things don't discriminate. Once it hits you, regardless of your nationality, ethnicity, race, creed, color, orientation, whatever you want to call it. I don't care what you are part of. I don't care what community you represent, you were born into, whatever. These things they exist and they do not discriminate. Hmm. So it kind of hits home too when it hits home. It hit home. And so it was like a reminder for me, like, yo, take absolutely take notice, people, and when you believe that things are so unbelievably difficult in life and you feel like you're on the brink of just giving up hope, just try to understand that it's more than just about things are happening for a reason. But even when you feel like things are impossible, take notice of the good that you have in your life. And I know it's easier said than done sometimes. It's easier said than done sometimes. And sometimes people, they just cannot cope. They don't have the strength, they've given up. But try to hold on and understand that, certain things that we deal with are temporary. They're temporal. They'll just pass. And when they pass, just like a storm passes, right? When it is a rainstorm, snowstorm, some type of hurricane, natural, weather system, turbulence taking place, and that passes, just like the storms of our lives pass. And when we get to see the sunshine again, that's a metaphor in a way, an example to show you that the sun within you can also shine and rise again. Like these things that we use sometimes to ignore, to avoid, to distract ourselves. Some people can't cope with the forces and pressures of life and the stresses of life. They seek these illicit substances just so they can escape. Literally, it's not a joke. It's not for fun. They can't handle. They can't handle the handle. And every time they do that now with agents like chemicals like fentanyl, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. You play with a loaded weapon. You see, Mix J. I see what you mean, Josh Soleil. It's nasty work, man. Over here with the when K2, the synthetic marijuana, plagued New York City 10 years ago or so, 11 years, 12 years ago, when K2, the synthetic marijuana, plagued New York City. Those that drug was knocking people out all over New York. Parts of the Bronx, you would have same numbers, 25, 30 heads down off of K2. Some shit that they would just smoke, there would be fake weed. They would sell them in the smoke shops like it was candy. Different kinds. People used to think it was the incense. They're smoking incense. They didn't know what to call it, what to make of this thing. This thing took hold of New York like it was nothing, man. There were certain parts of Brooklyn. One time, these people had just these. There was a thing. I don't know if it was in Bushwick, Brooklyn, or another part of Brooklyn, where it was just mass casualty of people. Same numbers, same thing like that. See, you could share a story about 27 people. Come on, bro. It's not. It's not. It's not make believe. Now K2, you know what's happening now? Even with K2, people are trying to act cool with it. Act act like it's a cool thing to do. Some of your favorite good for nothing entertainers, rappers, good for nothing, who had a chance, young people who had a chance. They were given an opportunity to uproot themselves out of social ills and despair end up getting locked up because you did not have enough guidance, strength, and discipline to leave the freaking streets alone. So once you touch prison, everything changes for you, because the likelihood of you coming out of prison and succeeding and doing it exceedingly well, you're not Tupac Shakur, son, right? And even Little Wayne, he didn't do too bad, but he didn't do great as he could have if he would have stayed his funky behind out of jail. Or look at the likes of people like Bobby Schmurda and Rowdy Rebel, huh? The whole GS9, they took them down. And people were on their way. And the reason why I mentioned Rowdy Rebel, he disclosed, I believe, run do your research if you care. After doing 7 years and while doing 7 years in the state prison system in New York, oh yeah, he was smoking K too. Oh yeah. And I get it. You in jail, you incarcerated. This is a nasty place to be. Nasty effing place to be. So you got to find ways to cope. But the people saying even when he was released, he continued to smoke and then actually added like to pretend like it's something cool to do. No, it's not, bruh. No, it's not. Molly, adding Molly and right these ecstasy back in the days, all these things, illicit substances. You see what Diddy doing? What's happening with your man? What's been happening with him? He old like me. Like we got more days behind us than in front of us. It's the young people that are now grabbing the baton or taking things by the helm that I'm concerned about always. What are we leaving behind for them? We leaving a mess. A mess. This is the example. You watch 50 people sprawl out on a Baltimore night. Overwhelming the morgue, right? Families, forget about overwhelming the morgue. What about the families that losing their love? How many families are broken behind this right now, man? It's an effing travesty. This community is still here. It's 2025, y'all. There's communities, when you visit certain communities, I know a lot of y'all don't care, but when you visit a lot of poor communities, y'all, you it's almost like you're in the this is the effing United States, and the people are living in this condition still, effing squalor in mind, body, and spirit. And you can tell it's generational shit passed down for like decades minimum. They wear it on their skin, they wear it on their countenance. You see it on their face. You see the pain, you see the struggle. Their wrinkles in their face tell the story. Telling you, watching people younger, 20, 30 years my junior, younger than me, looking like they're my age and older. Young women that are grandmothers at ages that just astound me, bro. Grandmothers, you barely hit 35. You're a grandma. She's a grandmother. It's real. It's real, man. But then again, when it hits home is when it hits real different. When it hits home is when it hits real different. This thing, folks, is it for y'all that don't know, and for y'all who want to know and who care. That fentanyl thing is no joke. There's multiple levels more potent and stronger and dangerous than whatever illicit substance you got you know and anybody you know dealing with. You add that to the mix, they're inviting, they're welcoming tragedy into their lives, yo. Sad. And it's sad when it hits home. That's that. Be safe out there, people. Safety. Stay dangerous. Safety though. Be well. Stay dangerous. Always be aware of what's going on and remain vigilant. Remain vigilant. And please, the men out here, take care of yourselves and take care of the people you love. For all the real men out here who are responsible, able bodied, responsible, sound mind, you rational, and you do the best you can with what you have. Continue, continue to do the good work. If you are a parent, protect, rear, love, support your kids, man. Support your kids. If you're in your children's lives, they look at you as a hero. You're a hero to them. Show them, be an example for them, a real role model. They don't have to be raised by the internet, because as a man, they have you, and as their father, they have you. They don't need the streets to raise them. They don't need the internet to raise them. They don't need any freaking jail system, prison system, street culture garbage, institutional anything raising your children. They need you. They need you. I'm speaking to the men. Take care of these women out here, man. The ones that bore our children, that bear our children. Like, what are y'all doing? The kids didn't ask to come into these situations, and look what we created for them. Not necessarily us per se, but look what's been created for them. We are their screen, we are their filter until they're able to work, until they're able to independently think and provide and coexist and succeed for themselves. We are their filter. We are their screening. It's us that have to protect them the best way we can. And even though we know we're limited in doing that, but my goodness, our presence counts. Our involvement counts, because our lack of involvement brings consequences. Our lack of presence brings consequences. You a single man and you have no children, you don't understand what I'm talking about here. This is not necessarily for you. You know, a single man doesn't know what I'm talking about here. They can't fathom. They can't, because they're not in it. They haven't done it. It's reality. Take care, y'all.